Hey, welcome back to Rescue by Dragons, a group of friends who refuse to let COVID stop them from playing Dungeons and Dragons. And a quick note before we get started. Thank you to one of our listeners and watchers who alerted us to the fact that we posted a couple of our early episodes out of order. So that has been remedied.
Did I do that?
No, I did that.
It's somewhere in the line from
I think
recording
it was,
to frame rate
Yeah, I
fixing.
think it was a combined effort of Kelvin and I. Him downloading, me downloading, then converting, and blah blah blah. So anyway, that's been fixed. Hopefully, it won't happen again. That was a result of batch downloading, but now that we're getting current, I don't think that will happen again. But you never know.
Don't underestimate us.
So
we may be stupid, but at
it.
least we're not dumb, you know? So
we're not just any idiots. All right, so anyway, if you want to point out any mistakes we make or just say hi, give us a shout out on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. You can find those links at what, Winter?
I said out your window.
Your window, yeah.
I thought you said Venmo, and I'm like, what?
Venmo. All right, yeah. Hey, if you want.
Oh yeah, Lucky, get on that. Set up the Rescued by Dragons Venmo.
Help us, we're poor.
And you can find those links on our website, rescuedbydragons.com. I believe that's all the announcements for today. So let's get started. We last left the Darkbrew Monster Vanguard. You guys had defeated the Bullets, holding Sand Hearth hostage. Remind you what Sand Hearth looks like.
Sandy.
Sandy, yes. So you guys defeated the Bullets, and you were welcomed into the town as heroes, literally carried on the townspeople's shoulders. You met Magistrate Walburn Silvertip, who welcomed you into the town. Yes, his name was Silvertip. Give me a break. You come up with all these names on your own.
Well, it just adds realism. Think of the number of times you've met someone with a silly name where you couldn't laugh at it in real life. Exactly. Like Dr. Cox, for example.
And he has invited you as the guests of Sand Hearth to stay in the finest inn in Northgate, the Downey Den. So you went to the Downey Den, got some rooms. Oh, and he invited you to dinner the next evening for a feast in your honor. And so you guys went to the Downey Den. Actually, first you went to your rooms, you bathed, you got freshened up as you could. You went down into the Downey Den's tavern to get some ale and food to celebrate, and just because you were really hungry and hadn't eaten a decent meal in 6 days. And you met the owner and proprietor of the inn named Wilda Homeline. And you guys asked her about stuff, and I believe Winter asked if there were any seers or conjurers, basically fortune tellers in the city. And she said that actually there was one, Darlov, who also just happened to be the proprietor of the Arrow Tip Companion House in the Hunter's Alley. So you guys took that information, you discussed what you were going to do, and start looking for. Oh, that's right. And Winter had the dream about the other party. And
that was before.
That was before. Okay.
Oh, but that's
I think you were discussing it.
But he told us about it, right?
Yeah. You were discussing it, and I can't remember if that's how the seer came up, or if the fortune teller came up for your hunt for the assassin, or who is sending assassins to kill Ovin. So, you guys went to bed. You put your clothing and armor outside your doors, and you all woke up the next morning to your armor being cleaned and polished, not mended, but it wasn't, too bad. It's not like, your armor is still fully functional. But so you guys are Clean bodies, clean clothes, full stomachs, full health, I believe, after a full night's rest in an inn, and you're ready to start your day.
I have a note here from last session that apparently I was kind of suspicious of Wilda, because it just says, Wilda, Downey Den Innkeep, knew she was going to have company, ? Because you said something about, like, we walked in, she's like, I was expecting you, and for some reason I thought that was suspicious.
I'm sure that's because I'm sure the magistrate wasn't just going to be like, hey, put these people up.
For free.
I'm sure he wasn't just going to spring that on. Yeah, I'm sure he cleared that. Yeah, that was cleared beforehand. So yes.
So we spent the night at the inn, and it's the next morning, and
It's the next morning. Yep.
had
the only thing you guys have scheduled is dinner that evening at sundown, and that will be at the what's the name of that? I'm sorry, hold on a second. Oh, wrong list. That will be at the Gilded Trophy, the other tavern in Northgate, or one of the finer taverns in Northgate. And that will be around sundown. So you guys have the day.
So, the brothel?
So early, Valmaya. It's...
I like to get an early start.
I see. I'm gonna have breakfast first, but, you know, I'll catch up, I guess. Don't want to keep you waiting.
We can take breakfast as read. You can say you guys wake up, you get breakfast, you're ready to start your search for...
Please someone tell me the reason why we shouldn't walk to the brothel at 8:30 in the morning and poke our head into the different inns we see on the way. Please someone have a good reason.
It's less busy.
Okay. All right.
Look, Valmaya's had breakfast and she's hungry for more. Okay.
It's time for dessert. Breakfast dessert.
Yeah, I was about to say yes. The common end to breakfast is dessert.
Dare I say pie?
Yeah.
Pie.
What is quiche but breakfast pie? Okay, I guess we're going to the brothel, and the sun hasn't even been up for that long. Maybe it's busy. You don't know. Maybe this is their busy time.
Sure, man.
We'll find out.
Okay. Are we poking our heads into the taverns to find the one that Winter dreamt about? If it's here.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that it's not a tavern in this town. I also don't know that it is.
Oh, okay.
So
It's also 8:30 in the morning. How crowded our tavern's going to be as well.
We can poke our head, say, "Excuse me, is this the brothel?" and then ask for directions in every single tavern in town.
Wilda has given you directions to the...
We can choose to forget them.
Yeah.
That'll be our excuse.
Just showing you. You know your way. You know your way to the... You don't necessarily know your way around very well, but she gave you vague directions to get to the arrow tip.
Was that like the city's one and only, or was there a whole den of dens?
There's just the one in one of the ones in
there's a couple.
Alley. Yeah.
There's a couple. Yeah.
I see. Okay. Shall we go to this bordello?
Do we all hold hands on the way there?
Should we skip?
So are you
I'll hold your
stopping
hand.
in taverns you see on the way, or are you just going straight for the...
Yeah, we'll stop into taverns, literally just to poke our head in, right? And shove Winter in, say, is it the one? And then
Just hold him up and shove him in. Is it this one?
No, that's for the brothel.
Oh.
Hello.
Hey.
Okay, so as you're on your expeditionary journey through Sand Hearth, you stop into a couple inns and taverns. You do learn that there is one other brothel in town that is in Tusk Town, and that is called the Pursuer's Pleasure. You also learn that none of the taverns you have been in look like the one from Winter's Dream.
Are there no brothels in Cowtown?
There are no brothels in Cowtown.
I feel like that'd be big business there.
Let's say Cowtown's more of a curbside delivery alleyway type of district.
Like a
I'm with you.
drive-through brothel?
No, more like
Holes involved?
More like they walk the streets.
yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah,
Drive-through brothel.
curbside delivery.
It's like McDonald's,
For the
but
modern parlance.
it's like McDonald's, but instead of like handing you your meal out the window, they just hand you your dessert out the window.
they just hand you your tits. Like,
They
here
just
you
give you a
go.
hand job. That's
Yeah,
what-
just reach out.
That's right.
I don't want to go.
Yeah, can I get the? Never mind. Never mind.
I'll take the number 4. Supersized.
Supersized. 4 of them.
Buns and thighs.
We should probably go to this brothel before we get like content striked from YouTube.
Yes, because that'll help.
You're right.
Fair.
You did identify the problem, and you identified another problem, not the solution.
Hey, we selected not for kids on YouTube. We
That's
post
true.
these as
That's true. What time is it by the time we make it to the just the arrow tip
just the arrow
Den.
tip companion house.
companion house?
Companion house. You make it. I mean, let's say it's it's a fairly good sized city. You say you can like walk. It's about a half an hour walk. You guys have been ducking into taverns and inns, talking to people. So let's see. You probably got an arrow's head. We're gonna say it's like 10:30ish, mid morning. You guys are not in any super hurry, unless you are. But no, it's about 10:30.
Yeah.
So now, do we all just walk in? What do we?
Should we be
Have-
looking for this Darlov person, right? She's
Yeah,
the
that's her name.
owner.
Oh
Darla.
yeah.
I'd go talk to them.
So maybe we should
Wait, question. Was
for her.
she like the owner of the brothel, or was she a whore in the brothel?
She is the owner, but she also has a reputation as something of a fortune teller, seer, kind
Okay.
of.
Okay. So
Oh, yeah.
are you just yoo-hooing out front?
Winter's getting nervous.
Winter, you're sweating already.
I say we all just go in together as one big group.
Okay, so you guys do come upon a fairly size. I mean, not there's no big houses, but in this city, it's mostly like the. But it seems to you come across a 3-story building that seems to just have one residence. It kind of looks like an inn, but there is just a arrowhead hanging from a sign near the door. It's small, it's unobtrusive, but you can
Size
tell.
doesn't matter.
More just like if you're looking for it, you'd know it's there. It's not trying to be ostentatious or anything like that. So it's not a shower.
Oh God.
Oh, Lord.
So you guys walk in. It is fairly. You're kind of like you've walked into somebody's front parlor. There's comfortable chairs, like a sitting room there, and there's.
Are there stains?
No, it's actually very nice. It's actually pretty nice. I mean, it's not, it's not super fancy, but it's well kept and clean.
Are there people?
There is no one there. There is a couple of doors. There's one small door to the side. Could be a closet door, you're not sure. But then there's kind of a larger door at the opposite end from the door you came in. And as you walk in, you kind of walk around. No one has come in. And then you kind of shuffle around for a bit, walk around, and I think someone hears your footsteps.
Is there like a bell we could ring for service?
Do you yoo-hoo in the parlor? Yoo-hoo! We're ready!
Dala?
All right, so as you guys are in this lobby wondering what to do and saying all these things, the door does open and a woman walks in, and you notice that she is very, she looks much like a painting you see on the wall. You see a painting on the wall of a woman in fancy robes, and then this woman comes out, and it's the same woman, the same red hair, similar dress, and she smiles and says, "Wow, usually I don't get this big a crowd at first thing in the morning, but how can I help you?"
We're looking for. Who are we looking for?
Darlov.
Darlov?
I'm Darlov. I haven't had the pleasure. I know who you are.
We'd all like an hour of your time.
Or I should say, I know what you've done, but thank you for saving our city. What can I do for you?
We'd like your time, madam, but not in the way you're probably thinking.
Oh, well, I think of so many things.
We heard.
What can I do for you? What can I do for you?
We heard you are like a fortune teller sometimes.
She kind of narrows her eyes and said, "Who told you that?"
Are they going to be mad if we share their name?
Well, I wouldn't know what they're going to be mad at all. I would just like to know who's spreading these rumors about me.
Wilda, I think. It's either Wilda or
Wilda. Okay. Wilda's trustworthy. Okay. I'd like to keep that. I like to keep that information to myself. I don't like to broadcast it. It's kind of a worst kept secret kind of thing, I suppose. But if Wilda sent you here, I trust her judgment.
I mean,
what and how can I help?
Save the city. Oh, our blushing friend over there has had some weird dreams about a group of people.
Mm-hmm.
And you would like me to interpret the dreams?
If you can, yeah.
Is it weird dreams about someone you know, or?
Maybe.
I get. It's not the first time I've had these dreams, but it seems like I get premonitions maybe sometimes, or visions of some sort while I sleep. They're very vivid, but this one seemed unique in some ways.
Okay, she kind of looks you up and down and thinks for a moment and says, "Okay, come with me. The rest of you can wait here."
Not again.
And and she leads you through the door, and just past the door, it goes a long hallway. There's on the immediate right there's stairs that go up. Across from the stairs is a small office, and then there's or a small room, I should say, and then there's just a hallway with doors down the hall. And as she's gestured for you to go ahead of her to the door, she stands back and she looks at. Yes, Kellen.
Can Kellen just brusquely shout "Good luck" at Winter as he's led off into the
he
home?
can after she before she shuts the door, whatever. She does turn back to you all and says, "Can I send anyone in to make your time pass more quickly?"
Yeah, sure.
Is anyone interested?
Yes, I am.
Okay, do you have a preference?
No, actually, I don't.
Okay. Anyone else?
No.
I'm fine, thank you.
Good.
Okay. So she considers. You can tell the mental gymnastics in her head, trying to figure out which one of her current staff will be, will be cool with a tiefling. So
I do this thing with my horns. Pretty good.
So she walks out. Kelwyn shouts "Good luck" to Winter as she closes the door. Winter, she ushers you into the small room immediately to the left and says, "Oh, just make yourself comfortable. I'll be right back." And there is like a little a settee. There's like a little table and 2 chairs on either side of it. What looks like a nice desk, and it's a comfortable room, but it's certainly not a a boudoir or anything like
Nice.
that. She walks down the hall. About 5 minutes later, she comes back, and you catch a glimpse of a woman walk by. A woman's like dress flow by.
Mhm.
And
Do
come
I
back.
notice anything in the room that should make me nervous?
I don't know what makes you nervous.
Pillows.
Pretty ladies.
Nothing. There's no weapons. There's no. Yeah. There is a ornately carved lamp of a naked
Lamp.
a lamp. There's an ornately carved bronze lamp of a sexy naked woman in a contrapposto.
What's that word mean?
Contrapposto. It's just the David pose. Like the hips are kind of the hips tilt in one direction, shoulders tilt in the
So
other
it's not
direction.
just like contrary to pasta.
No.
Oh, I was thinking like a noodle that fell on your counter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pasta.
You're like, get in the bowl, and it was a very contrary pasta.
It's contrapposto fettuccine. Oh,
Could you contrapposto fettuccine where every noodle is in that David pose? Like,
Oh, jeez.
Winter, you see just like a flash of robes kind of go by the doorway. You don't really get a look at who's walked by. The door opens, and we'll switch to the lobby quite quick. A tall human woman, very slender, but has a tough-looking demeanor about her, like a no-nonsense demeanor, comes in.
Oh no.
Was somebody looking for company? She says.
Yoo-hoo.
point to Nicoya.
Okay. Okay, Yoo-hoo, come with me. And she just kind of walks up, grabs you by the tail, and starts pulling you through the door.
This was more aggressive than I was anticipating.
As Nicoya leaves, I'm just
Wow.
like,
Girl, you
The door
did.
shuts, and you get led down the hall to a couple of doors and into what definitely looks like a boudoir. And now we'll cut to.
as Nicoya is dragged
Oh my.
away, I just want to.
Oh, wait. As she closes the door behind her, she looks at Nicoya and says, "Why don't you loosen your horns?" And then, so now we cut to. So now we cut to back to Darlov's little office, and she walks in, slowly closes the door behind her, and smiles at Winter. And Winter, did you take a seat on the couch? Did you take a seat in the chair? Or are you still standing? What are you doing?
Cross arms, standing.
Cross arm standing. Okay. So she looks at you and says, "Okay, well, this will go better if you're comfortable. So why don't you have a seat?" And she points to the chair directly opposite her desk, her nice ornate desk table thing.
I take a seat.
Okay. And she just immediately looks at you and says, "Part of your dreams are your heritage, which I think you know.
I assumed as much. Yes.
Yeah. And then she, at this point, her long red hair has covered up her ears, and then she kind of like pulls her hair back, revealing she too is a half elf. And nuts. And again, this isn't something my friends know what I am, but it's not something I. It's funny. You live in a predominantly human city, and no one actually thinks to ask what race you are.
Interesting.
So I keep it under wraps. I mean, I don't keep it a secret, but I don't broadcast it.
Is that why you try to keep your abilities somewhat private?
Yeah, exactly. I don't like to, it scares people. People might come, asking for things I can't give them, expectations, blame when things go wrong. It's a kill the messenger kind of world out there. So, but I think I might be able to help you. We're gonna start, and she opens up her desk and she pulls out some items that look fairly innocuous, but she spreads them out on her desk. And hold on a moment. And she says, "Okay, so we're gonna tell me about this dream."
I give her like the basic lowdown of the dream that I saw the group in the tavern and everything. Just kind of accentuating the part. I think what tripped Winter myself up the most was probably not even necessarily the vision itself, but the more the one woman that was more like transparent, not quite like fully clear within the dream, was one of the things I don't think Winter's really encountered in the past with his dreams / visions. Yeah, just saying it was just wondering if that's anything that seemed relevant to this town or area. Usually the dreams have to do with something currently happening in his whereabouts. So
Okay. Well, so you didn't know anyone in your dream, and you didn't recognize the space.
someone did seem familiar, but hard to place.
Okay. Well, we can do this a couple of ways. If anyone in your dream was real, and you can describe them to me rather well, and if they have some kind of, I don't know, something that makes them legendary, something that makes them part of, if bards have sung about them, if they have a legendary history behind them, I may be able to discern who they are, who that one person is. You have to pick one. And it would also cost 250 gold. The components for that particular spell aren't cheap. I'm not trying to rip you off. It's just the other option is I can just do a tarot reading.
Okay, let me check my bank account. How much did you say it was?
250 gold.
Let's just do it.
All
I feel
right.
like Winter's probably easily swindled out of his money.
She gets a look of surprise.
I could have bartered.
And says, "Excellent." And she pulls out. So she goes back into her. She actually gets up and she uncovers a small little safe in a cabinet near her desk, and she pulls out 4 ornately carved ivory strips, like little hunks of ivory. They are very, large and expensive looking. She places them down in front of her, stares at them for a while, and then looks at you and says, "Which one would you like me to describe to you, learn about?" Do you need a refresher on who you saw?
I mean, I'm between two, and I'm just trying to think of which would.
Okay, I will give you a refresher. You saw elf playing a lute that looked vaguely familiar. You saw the ghostly woman leaning on his shoulder. Was one. You saw another elf who did not look familiar, who looked like he was dressed in warrior garb. You saw a dwarf wearing just leather pants, a big fur mantle, who had a big bear tattooed across his chest, and you saw a gnome who looked to be in cleric guard. They all looked fairly old, although the elf bard looked a bit older than the rest.
All right, I'm gonna take
Sexy dwarf man.
A, you're not there. B, stop projecting. What winter?
Elf Bard for 250, please.
Bard for 250.
Nice.
Excellent. Okay, so she takes the ivory, puts it in a small little brass brazier, pours a little oil on it, lights a match, and much to your surprise, the ivory begins to burn. You didn't know ivory could burn. I don't know if it can or not. I'm just
Magic.
That's right. If somebody says ivory can't burn in this world, it can by magic. So don't at me.
Or do it. Rescued by dragons.
Or do it. What the hell?
Say hi.
Please at me.
So she's staring at it, muttering under her breath, making some motions with her hands, and this goes on for about 10 minutes. And she starts kind of swaying back and forth as though she's listening to music. And she says, "Well, that is interesting. He was a great adventurer a long time ago. He and his party fought many battles, killed many evil things. He was a bard of great renown. And his party traveled the world and was fairly well known. His name was Venzo. No, wait. His name is Venzo, and he's still alive.
I think his name is Venzo. I know Venzo.
Would you know him?
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like you've just wasted 250 gold. But
I mean, I don't know much about him.
okay.
He's a very private man.
He wasn't always that way. And then she kind of thinks he suffered a great loss later on in life. And that's when he turned taciturn, reclusive. But if he's, so you've met him?
Yes, he is building something in my basement.
You are full of surprises. He seems to have stopped adventuring shortly after this loss. After adventuring for quite a while.
His wife.
I don't think it was his wife. There are tales of this adventuring party breaking up after the death of one of their members. So that would be the same. I'm not getting anything about a wife or. But it certainly isn't mean that certainly doesn't mean there wasn't any romantic connection.
Mm-hmm.
They faced a powerful wizard who I'm thinking it was. The stories say that there was a powerful wizard who actually not defeated them, but did escape them after killing one of the party. So I assume that might be this woman. Her name, I think her name was Ilya.
So are you only able to interpret what has been sung of someone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, what has been sung of him, and turns out there's quite a things to turns out you picked the right person because he sung a lot about himself.
You basically paid $250 to find his Wikipedia page.
Was there anything about his home or his relationship to his home? I mean, as I know him now, he lives in Darkbrew. Is the city called Darkbrew? I should know this.
It's Darkbrew's Rest.
Darkbrew's. He lives in Darkbrew's Rest, but he has some strange connection to the area, and I don't know if it's that he doesn't want to leave or that he's.
There is a connection. The the last song he sings about himself is about loss and suffering in the Sha'araka Mountains. So that would be, the mountain range just to our, well, depending which way you're facing. Yeah, no, this is the mountain range to our east. So it could very well be that Ilya is maybe buried there, and he does not want to leave too far from her.
Do you get the impression that he is good? I guess by lack of a better term.
The ballads sung about him, his own and others, he was a hero. No indication of malice or evil. He was a legendary hero, as they all were back in their day. I was gonna say about 100 years ago.
What's your favorite song about him?
He doesn't really give his songs names. I don't get the full. I more get the stories. I don't get the actual flashbacks, or I get the knowledge of what was said about him, but not necessarily the details, the melody, the specific. Your dream is probably more specific, a vision with detail than anything I'm picking up from his stories and deeds. He has, the typical deeds of adventures. They've killed monsters. They killed evil wizards. They helped win wars. They went on many adventures, underground, above ground, even flew in airships. They traveled the world and did great things, but then just most of them stopped.
Is there anything you hear that is like that's the bit of information that's worth 250 gold?
Well, the identity of the true identity of the person in your dream. I can tell you, judging by songs, I think I can eke out the names of the others in his party.
I'd be interested to know that.
Okay. There was actually, hold on a moment. I need to find those names. Okay, the woman Ilya, I've told you that. What did I miss?
Nicoya dropping theory bombs.
I don't think that's actually true, but
Still,
I want it to be.
Me too.
That the
Remember the pudding wizard? That's the wizard that bested
the
them.
black wizard.
Because of the pudding.
Angor Frostbeard is the name of the dwarf.
Cool name.
Yeah. Gelid Brumel Gelid is the elf. Kierna Barkhide is the gnome.
He's totally off the cuff, are they?
No, they are not. They are not.
It's acting, Nicoya.
And yes, that's the names I get. The 5 of them.
So
Benzo, Ilya, Angor, Gilead, and Kierna. And they are all still alive. And
all of them.
Yes, and I will tell you this. This isn't necessarily anything I'm gleaning from the lore. But I can tell you that your dreams are not necessarily about something that is going to happen. They are more, you seem to dream about things and people that will shape your destiny.
Very curious.
And that is about all I'm getting.
Okay, thank you for your time. I guess I will pay you so much money.
Offer to work for her instead.
No. Nope. And 200 a month. All right. So
Winter, you do actually get more tales of specific tales of some of their battles, what they've done, who they've fought, but I will get those to you later.
Okay. Darla, thank you for your time.
Oh.
For your information. I hope you don't always feel the need to hide your gift.
Well, thank you. It's mostly harmless things. I find lost people, lost things. I can, people don't normally ask for, I get the occasional, read my fortune and things like that. But I like to help my friends with practical needs, usually. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so that takes about, say that takes about a half an hour to an hour. We will flash back. Actually, we're not even going to flash back. We're just going to go. Winter, as you're leaving, you see another door open. And you see Akoya step out.
Hey.
You see a woman put her arms around her, give her a kiss on the cheek, and say, "Well, that was fun," as she reaches down and swirls her tail, and goes back into her room.
Girl.
Winter just kind of turns to Nicoya and raises his eyebrow and goes, "Was it?"
Did you have such fun as I did? Because that was a great time.
I had an interesting experience. Yeah.
Glad we both had fun.
Yeah.
All right. Were you guys having any conversations while all that was going on? Or?
I have a quick question.
Yes,
how much
Nick.
did that cost me?
Oh, thank you.
250 gold.
I really hope not.
No, it cost 1 gold.
That was
That's it?
Yeah, it's typical. Remember, 1 gold is like one. Gold a day is like noble's wages. It's like
money well spent.
I'm regretting my decision.
I just got stolen from.
It's the price of magic.
When
magic is expensive, but not people, apparently.
Shortly after the two of them left the room, I just want to comment to the group that's that boy looks like he's the most nervous he might just shake out of his armor. Nicoya looks confident and cold as ever, but I feel like Winter might sweat buckets before he returns.
Yeah.
Walk out with like giant pit stains.
When Nicoya comes out, I'm gonna ask her in her head, how was it?
Oh, I'm gonna reply back that it was amazing. She missed out.
Should have joined.
You could have. Two for the price of one.
Well, this was a boring morning, honestly. Like,
Not for me.
Kellen, it's only 1 gold.
I don't think they have someone here.
I mean,
that's my
I don't
type.
mind waiting if you guys want to go back in.
I'm all set.
Now what?
Ready to leave.
If it's early enough for Horan, it's early enough for boozing. Let's get Winter a beverage.
Yeah.
We can stop in
Alright.
one or many of those inns that we saw.
Well, you
Or maybe we
are
should hit new
in.
ones.
You are currently in Hunter's Alley. So you are near either the tavern, the Twisted Tusk, or the inn and tavern, the Blind Drake.
Let's go to the Twisted Tusk. Sounds like something
choice.
that Nicoya
Not
already
it.
Excellent.
It is.
experienced this morning.
That would be the Twisted Tail.
Yeah. So, Winter, Nicoya. Nope, Winter. Tell us everything.
I can if you want.
Jeez.
I do have a morbid
Excruciating
sense
detail.
of curiosity, but I think I'd prefer to spare that.
So I take my horns and
No. Winter, what
Well,
was that your first time?
no, not yet. Yeah, I
Did you
learned some interesting things.
Yeah, so did Nicoya, but
Sounds like Nicoya taught someone some interesting things,
that's
but
fair.
the
Some new moves.
Do you regret it? Like a sense of regret after your first time's not like uncommon.
it wasn't my,
Oh, it wasn't your first time.
well, it wasn't
I
because I didn't.
Nicoya, no.
Oh God!
How does that work? Wait a minute, that's an angle.
Oh no!
I'm not gonna walk right for a week.
I'm not reading that one for the podcast audience. They can watch it on YouTube if they want to read that comment.
This goes against all my better judgment, but Nicoya, give yourself an inspiration.
thank you.
I've never been more proud.
Wow.
Right.
Oh, my cheeks.
Okay. I'm gonna need that port break.
So it wasn't your first time? I'm sorry if this is personal.
Dude, sir, Kellen, we just talked. She did some magic.
I know, like
No, yeah, no, she I think it might have been over I gave her a lot of money.
I'm really unclear. Did you fuck her, Winter?
No, I didn't fuck her.
Oh, okay. Well, then what did you do for an hour?
She told me about my dream. That's what we came here for, right?
Oh, yeah, touche.
Right? Unless I really whatever.
Yeah. No,
yeah,
you're right.
no.
You're right.
Just yeah. It turns out Benzo was one of the people in my dream.
That
He
makes
was the
sense.
bard.
I
Yeah, and
This whole time I had him pegged for wizard.
Yeah. He plays very well. I'm fairly certain he's a bard. He's world famous.
What if we can somehow get lucky to learn how to play one of his songs and we play it for him outside of his house?
There might be so
Maybe he'll actually talk to us.
It's interesting. The way her magic works is it's through the songs that bards play. So she was able to basically glean all of the songs that both he's played about himself and that others have played about him. And he was a part of this really world famous group of adventurers and basically kind of like us. Like they would slay monsters and well,
I'm glad you have aspirations, Winter.
Oh, we're pretty good. But yeah, I have all their names. Do you guys know? Let me know if any of these ring a bell. But Gillid Drummel, there was Angor Frostbear, Gierna Barkhide, and Ilya.
Martel?
It's Elia.
No. Nothing.
Ilya?
None of those sound familiar.
No.
Well, apparently they're going to shape my destiny, so.
That's terrifying. Well, I guess Venzo already kind of has, hasn't he? A little bit.
A bit. Yeah. They said something terrible happened to him.
Maybe that's
What
why
happened to him?
He lost someone. I think in Jaakara. Did I mess that up?
Shakara.
Jaakara.
I mean, that makes sense. He and I seem pretty similar, and you don't really get like this from happiness and bountiful joy in your life, so.
I think you seem very happy.
I disagree. He's pretty angry.
For once,
Pretty unhappy.
Nicoya and I are on the same page.
Is this going to be a therapy session? Do you want to talk about your
No, I don't want
problems?
to talk about my feelings, Nicoya.
We can sit in a circle and hold hands.
I would
Long.
reject that outright.
We're here for you. This is a safe space.
I don't want that.
Just being serious, Nicoya.
Group hug. Group hug.
Please don't touch me. Also, we're in some random tavern. This does not seem like a safe space. Well, I'm glad. How much does she charge you for reading your dreams? Was it just like a friendly, come along, I'll interpret your dreams? We're all friends here.
No.
Was it? Well, Nicoya, how much was your hour?
1 gold.
Oh.
So if you multiply that by about 250, that's
Holy shit!
What?
She made it.
You could have gotten so many horse with that.
You could have had 10 straight days and then some of just magic, as you described, I guess.
Is that not how much that usually would cost?
I don't know how much a dream reading costs.
I feel like maybe I might have made a mistake there.
That seems fucking
On the bright side, I have
Did you at least get your tarot cards read too for the fun of it for that price?
No.
Well, Okay. Maybe we go back and you just demand a tarot card reading too, because you paid her salary for the next 10 years.
And some boobs.
Demand.
Give me a tarot card reading with your breasts out.
Please.
Yes.
Topless card reading, please.
That's not a bad revenue stream idea, Vamaya. If this adventuring thing doesn't work out, I will gladly sign a contract and be a business partner in the topless card reading.
We got a
business.
backup plan.
Yeah. Okay, so we learned that Winter is easily swindled, and also we learned that Venzo is a bard, and grumpy. Something bad happened. That makes sense. Why that woman was ghosty because
But-
she's dead. And
No.
No one. What?
I don't think so. She said that they were all still alive, the entire party.
She did not. She said 4 of them were alive.
Oh,
She did say that the woman was
Yeah.
dead.
4 of them. Ilya's dead.
Have you had any other random dreams about people who were shaping your destiny?
Oh yeah, all the time.
What the fuck is what?
What?
Yeah, well, not all the time, but like I don't know. I've had a couple in my life.
What else have you dreamt about?
There was one about some books, and there was one about like an octopus.
If you do
Okay.
remember, if you remember when you first started, you did specifically recognize Valmaya from one of your first dream in the campaign. So you already dreamt about Valmaya, and then you had dreamt about them getting the books.
Sometimes I have that dream of I'm late for my bureaucracy 101 class back in school, or that there's a final or something.
Mhm.
That I guess shaped my destiny. What?
Mine is when I'm in a battle and suddenly I'm just naked. It's a bad dream.
People throwing pickles at you.
Is that your
Sorry.
dream, Meister Dungeon Meister? Do you wake up in cold sweats and pickle juice in the middle of the night?
The pickle
Oh, I'm
sweat.
not sleeping when that happens.
Is anyone lucky? Do you have weird dreams?
Usually I end up getting thrown into a bath and it's just terrible and I'm not prepared and then I just have to get out and I scratch.
Ula,
That's
you're
terrible.
friends with weird things and topics. What are your nightmares like? I'm assuming if you had a dream of like the dead crawling out of the earth, it's like every Tuesday for you.
I mean, yeah, I don't really sleep, so I don't know how I would
Oh, that's
dream.
fucking elves.
But maybe I've had a couple weird premonition-y type things in my life, but I can't recall something that would change my destiny in the way that this sounds like it's shaping Winters. And that's
Okay.
very unique.
Clarification, Winter. When you say shape your destiny, are you talking about like? I guess this was Darlove who said they'd shape your destiny. Is it shape your destiny in the sense that you dream to maybe not eat that block of cheese that has been sitting on the tavern counter for 2 weeks, and it saves you like a horrible bathroom experience kind of shape your destiny, or like something with more gravitas than that?
Oddly detailed, Kelwin, but okay.
I said I've been through hardship in my life.
This is why he's grumpy.
Hardship or hard shits? Which one is
Oh.
They were very soft.
Yeah. Well, I described it as more of like a premonition, and Darlove said it's more people that would shape my destiny. So I think it's more just like who I'll encounter that can kind of point things one which or the other way.
Can we like make them happen? Do you think? Like if we feed you the right, like if we make you drink warm milk before bed, are you gonna be more likely to have a life-altering, destiny-altering premonition, or just?
Usually seems to happen when we're safer, like when it's a comfortable environment, not like you're on watch that night. I have to be up in an hour and making sure we're not all getting killed.
So there's a fairly high chance it will happen while we're here. We can just give you the comfiest bed, let you sleep in.
I don't know. I don't think you can really force it. It's kind of random.
Did the mushroom help with that at all?
Yeah.
What did I see when I had mushrooms?
Yeah, what did you see when you had the mushrooms?
Mom!
Saw your mom. Yep.
Aww.
I mean,
yeah, no, mushrooms didn't really help. I saw Mom though. That was cool. But yeah, I don't know.
does anyone else have any weird supernatural goddamn powers we haven't established yet that they'd like to put just on the table? No shame. This is a safe space, as Velmaya
I mean, you know
said.
about our mind stuff, right?
I think so. I think you've. Have you
okay.
mentioned that like
I think
actually
we
in
have.
game?
Wait, what?
I don't know. Maybe
Mentioned what?
It's what?
our Velmaya and I's mind
Yeah.
Telepathy.
fucking powers.
Yeah.
I
That.
think we have, yeah.
Talked about, yeah, we've definitely. That's
I think
definitely.
so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. In fact, that came up in the very first episode when
Oh yeah.
Kelwin was accusing you of mind fucking each other.
Oh, yeah.
Good times.
We started off highbrow right from the beginning.
Mhm.
We did. We're classy bitches.
We are classy.
Okay.
Lucky? Do you have a dark side?
Hmm?
What?
He's wearing
No.
all black. He is all black.
He's
Literally
the
every
purest
side of
being.
him is a dark side.
He is the void.
No, what you see is what you get. You have any questions, just ask me. I'll tell you whatever you want to know.
I think that's
That's what
believable.
this is happening. We are asking you the
Oh, what do you want to
questions.
know?
I don't have any specific thread to follow.
Did you have a dark side? Was what he asked.
Do you?
No, just a lot of really horrible brothers and sisters I needed to get away from.
Okay, trauma.
And lucky he
That's-
killed them all.
You don't have like a
Shadowing.
catnip problem.
I wouldn't call it a problem.
Okay,
He's quite good at it.
it's a talent.
You can't speak to people through their minds or have dreams that tell you the future in a weird sort of cryptic way.
I do not.
Can you walk through walls? I don't know.
Well, I can turn myself invisible, but that's a spell you guys already saw
but
when
that's
we
like-
won that battle.
Yeah, that's like normal supernatural, not like weird supernatural. There's a very fine line and it gets blurry.
I'm gonna mentally talk to Velmaya, and I'm gonna say, do you mention those books that we got at the same time?
Maybe. But do we have to?
We don't have to.
Those two are making eyes again. Anyone else see that?
What are you talking about?
Everyone in
Guys,
this.
guys, come on,
I'm
share.
even thought.
Sorry. As Velma and Nicoya are looking at each other going,
Yeah.
actually, Valmaya,
to each other.
Valmaya and Nicoya, were you trying to keep your conversation secret? Were you trying to not let anyone else know?
We're
Well,
talking in each other's
in our minds.
Well, I mean, but you were trying to, like, you know, because you can be stealthy about it, or you can be obvious about it.
Maybe in the middle.
Yeah, in the middle. That's a good place to be.
Both of you roll for stealth, please.
Oh man.
Oh shit. What's my stealth thing? Okay.
22.
Whoa! I can
Oh,
see that
wow,
Valmaya
it
rolled a
popped up.
thing.
Yeah, that's
What?
cool.
Yeah.
I
Wait,
just
what?
did.
It said
Oh, 'cause we're all-
Valmaya
'cause we're all
rolled a
connected
stealth
to the
check of
campaign.
22.
What? That's so cool.
Wow.
I used to. basically
This whole
die.
time D&D Beyond had a dark side that we never knew about.
No.
There's so much sharing going on.
What'd you roll? Would you roll, Nicoya?
13.
A 13. All right. Whoever has a passive perception above a 13 totally notices Nicoya is making eyes at Velmaya.
Mine's a
they're doing
9,
their-
so I don't actually see
All right.
anything.
It's your choice whether you're to act on it, but yeah. Valmaya looks like Valmaya's hiding it very well. She just looks like she's enjoying breakfast, but Nicoya is not being as coy about it as she thinks she is.
Okay, so where do we have to go on from this? Obviously, Venzo is, I mean, not really it's not like he's hiding something. Everyone's entitled to their privacy, but apparently he's tied to Winter somehow.
Mhm. Well, the whole group. I mean, I'm curious to learn more about the other names too. They're not anyone that I was familiar with.
Didn't you two see Lucky Nicoya? Didn't you two see like a weird bear thing that?
Oh yeah,
splashed
there
in?
was this bear that came by that oasis and splashed us, and then ran away.
In the dream, he was wearing bear's furs.
I'm not that bright, but I'm also not dumb. If there's a tattooed dwarf with a big bear on his chest and bear furs on his back showing up in someone's premonition dream of destiny, and you two meet a spooky weird bear at night that splashes you like a giggling schoolgirl and waddles away into the woods, might be something there.
Well, he never giggled, but
Yeah, I don't think bears giggle.
Be cute.
They do if they like your joke.
What?
Well,
All right, I think we're going to take a break. But I will remind you.
good idea.
I will remind you that one of your missions here in Sand Hearth is to find out who's been sending assassins to kill Ovid.
Oh yeah!
Someone's life is on the line.
It's been a very productive session so far. Went to a whorehouse.
Priorities, whatever.
Oven, we are having therapy. Like, what's that? I can't hear you over the crossbow bolt in your neck, but we're having therapy.
So, that being said, I'm taking a port break. We will meet back here in 8 minutes at 8:10.